Okay. What's up, everyone? Jeremy Majors here with Majors Academy Dog Training out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we're live. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, you name it, we're on it. I don't do TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account. I don't want too many of these online things. But anyway, who cares about that? We're here to talk about dog training and dog behavior. If you guys, if anybody out there has a hard time getting a hold of me, the best way to get a hold of me is to call me. Because if you call me and leave a voicemail, I will get back to you. But messaging on Facebook has been kind of messed up lately. And I haven't gotten a lot of people's message, so I apologize for that. Anyway, let's get it started. Cheers to those who are suffering through this Wisconsin weather. It's supposed to get warmer, but at least we're out of the single digits. All right, let's get started. Okay. All right, Markle says, I'm sorry if I pronounced that name wrong. Markle says, tips and tricks of how to help a dog with new people, aggression in home. And Gretchen says, I have the same issue. Okay, so let's talk about dog aggression in the home. The dog needs more control from you. And that's how you solve the aggression. The dog needs more control from you, more answers from you, more avocation from you. Just in general, dog probably has not enough structure, not enough boundaries. An example of a boundary would be to not allow the dog to be in the kitchen. It plays a big role. It's a minute thing on the surface, but mentally, it's pretty a good rule to obtain because it can easily be broken. And so the amount of consistency that it'll take to actually achieve that is the same amount of consistency it'll take to get your dog to listen to you and not go crazy at the door when people come in. Because when the dog goes crazy at the door, it's not listening to you. It doesn't give a darn about you. You have to change that. It starts with putting the dog somewhere where you have designated that it should go when you want it to go. Creating a secure place for the dog to stay and be in your home. So that's how you deal with aggression. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on and on, but basically, again, more control from the people who are responsible for the animal, the child, the dog, whatever. You got to step in and say, hey, these people are okay, and the dog take your word for it. Okay, so one of the things that I teach here is go to your bed. The command, go to your bed or place. When you say that, the dog should go lay down. As opposed to rushing the door, jumping on people, barking at the window, A whole host of issues can be solved with that. Go to your bed. So there it is in a nutshell. All right, let's move on. Okay, Katie says, my dog gets so jealous of the cats, the kid. If the cat comes to a person for attention, the dog will barrel it over to get in between and break things up. Yeah, teach your dog to share, you know. It's very important because some dogs start fights because of their jealousy. You know, don't allow the dog to have an attitude of the world revolves around it, me, whatever. Don't allow the dog to have that mindset. It's exhausting to have a dog that thinks that way. They run you. They train you. You don't train them then. It's very exhausting. They run the show. They get to dictate who comes in, who they like, what kind of dogs they like, what kind of dogs they go crazy over. You know, don't have that attitude. But teach your dog to share. Be humble. You hear me say that a lot. All right. Okay. Anybody, any of you guys who are watching now, please ask questions. No question is a dumb question, and your question will help others that have the same issue. So feel free, jump on in. Let's have a conversation. Amanda says, how's Kaya? Kaya's doing great. She's doing good. She doesn't have much play drive, I'll tell you that though. She really, I'm so hoping the next few days that that she wants to play, but she just is good chilling, you know, in the yard with the other dogs. But tomorrow I'm going to do something special. Try and really motivate her to bond with my dogs, and I'm going to get it on video too, so it'll be good. All right. Okay. My German Shepherd, Jake, is typically good with other dogs, both male or female. Jake is neutered. He has shown aggression towards unaltered males. Not severe attack mode, but showing teeth, hair raised on the neck. Is this simply a natural protection of his sister Merlot, who is spayed, or should I aggressively be changing this behavior? At least correction diffuses the situation, but there's more. Is there more I should be doing? And thank you for doing these live sessions. You're welcome. You know, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be able to tell you specifically. What I do know is that some dogs that are neutered do not like dogs who are neutered. I mean, excuse me. Some dogs who are neutered do not like dogs who are not neutered, who are still intact. They have a problem with them. I know this to be true. So I wouldn't know what to tell you. Maybe I could tell you to keep your dog away from that dog. You know, it is not important that your dog get along with every single dog. It's kind of maybe unfair a little bit. You know, hopefully it's not one of your family members or friends that you have to have them around. But you know, if I meet a dog that my dog doesn't like and they just don't gel together, I don't really care about forcing them to get along together. You know. Also, if you're meeting your dog, if you are meeting dogs on leash, stop that. Don't allow dogs to meet on leash. Especially, well, If they know each other, it's fine. It's not fine. It's not good. Okay? All right. Okay. Moving on. Melissa says, how do you stop the toy aggression or play aggression? Is that toy aggression towards humans or dogs? Let me know. I cannot seem to house train our Yorkie or rescue Yorkie. Any tips? Yeah. Make sure the crate is small enough so that the dog chooses to hold it or lay in it. If you have a crate that's too big for that Yorkie and the dog can get away from the pee and poop, then the dog may struggle with holding it. But some dogs, and I would say most dogs, do not like going in the bathroom if they are going to have to step in it. So they choose to hold it. So first, make sure that crate is the right size. And if the crate is the right size, then you can, then you may have more success just from that. Monitor the water intake. And then learn their food feeding habits too. You know, how's their poop? Are they having diarrhea? If you guys have a dog that has diarrhea, and so the way that I handle diarrhea is I skip a meal, and then that next meal they'll get a spoonful of organic pumpkin, and that'll usually stop the diarrhea episodes. But you want to make sure that they can kind of get it out of their system, which is why I skip a meal, and then that pumpkin really does something, and they don't have diarrhea. So just a tip. I'd need to know more about that dog when it comes to house training. But again, basic stuff 101 is, you know, if you don't visibly see your dog go out, and you may have to go out there with them to see them do it, then there should be no free roam of the house. And it also depends on, excuse me, how dominant that little Yorkie is. Do you think the dog is marking in your home, or is there a specific spot in your home that it's marking? Give me some more details, and I'll give you some more tips. You know what I mean? All right. Jim says, "Hey Jeremy, can you tell me why my dog will nip the same person when we meet up? Is it nervous energy?" Yeah, the dog nips because it doesn't want an interaction from that person. The nip is the attempt to get the dog or to get that person away, and so keep that person away or at a distance when you first see that person. You know, is it on leash? Is it in your house? Give me some more details, and I can give you some more tips. Do you think that male dogs settle down once they are neutered? Not enough to neuter, not enough to say that it's worth it. Neutering to me isn't necessarily worth it. It's, you know, it can be counterproductive if it's under a year. as far as just what they need. They need that stuff. Like they need their jewels. I posted a picture of 2 males from the same litter. One got neutered under a year. One didn't get neutered. You guys check it out. Look at the difference between the maturity of one and the other. The one that got neutered early looks like a giant puppy, and the other one looks, just looks amazing. So could be a coincidence, but I don't think so. So my advice is to people: I don't care. I train your dog no matter if it has, no matter if it's altered or not. Doesn't matter to me. I don't see that big of a difference between dogs who have it and dogs who don't. It's when he's off leash. Oh, so is he going up towards? Is he going up towards the guy, or is the guy going up towards him? Because if the dog is going up towards him, then it's on you to really tell the dog, "Hey, knock it off." If the person is coming up to the dog, then you got to tell the person, knock it off, leave him alone. They probably just need you. Both people need you to sort of step in the middle and say, "You guys chill out. There's no problem here." For a while, he approaches the guy. Yeah. So tell him no. When he's even looking at him or staring at him, tell the dog no. And the dog should disengage, because you are the one who's going to tell him that the guy that's approaching is okay. That's what you have to do. If you need to, put a leash on him, or put a training tool on him so that he can take your word more seriously. If you can't control him with just your voice. Yeah. The cue is the thought. You want to get it before it happens. So the dog will look and not take his eyes off of it. If the dog didn't care about the guy approaching, the dog would do this. Take one look. Hey, what's up? Or go up, tail wag, right? Not this though. And then start to go toward the nip. So stop him at this. Hey, it's okay. Knock it off. Oh, okay. That sort of thing. Okay, so play aggression with dogs. Toy aggression with dogs. I keep an e-collar on the dogs who have aggression, and I will press the vibrate button if they decide to get stiff or they think about ill thoughts. So that's what I would do. Use your e-collar. It's an invisible leash. It will get your dog to will teach your dog what's right and what's wrong, and it'll help the dog learn how to share. But yeah, it's just a simple way. Okay, Kelsey says, also your golden is so calm. How can I do that with my 6-month-old Pyrenees? He's just so wild, so bitey, total disregard to anything we say. Is this something your training can help with? He's so stubborn. Of course it can. Of course it can help. There's a lot of things that are, that I've come to realize when I raised my puppy. I just went through it, and I'm still going through it. But it's just extra important to get respect first before you allow your dog to do what they want. See, most people think that having a dog live their best life is to have is to allow the dog to do what they want. Jump on the couch when they want, bark when they want, have freedom of the house everywhere, come in the kitchen when they want, lay right by you when you're eating, bark at the door, meet you at the door, jump on you when they're a puppy and you think it's cute, and so that's what we allow when they're small, and then you try to address it when they're big, and they now know that they're big, and it just makes it tough. And so it's more so about, again, planting those seeds in the beginning so that you don't have to worry about teaching those types of things to a big dog. The first time my puppy jumped on me was, I don't know, probably it was 12, 13 weeks, but only did it once because I was tough on her in that situation. I didn't want to address it at 5 months, 6 months, 7 months. I didn't want to address it then. I wanted to address it when you're small so that it doesn't take the time where you jump on my child at 6 months and hurt him and he hits his head on something. I want to address it now. And she has never jumped on anyone ever again so far. So it's all about planting the seeds right now when it comes to puppy raising. And being the more controlling you are now, the more freedom they'll have. I'm going to keep saying it because it's very, very important to realize for some people. You do have to introduce the world like this to a puppy, and then gradually go like this as they get older. And this is kind of what freedom is, because you can't just allow your dog to meet every dog. You shouldn't allow your dog to meet every person, because some people are out of their minds and want to touch and have to touch your puppy. And for some dogs, like the working dogs and the herding breeds, they will figure out how to get unwanted pressure away from them, whether that be dogs or people. They will figure it out because they're smart and they're used to knowing how to get their way, and they're controlling. So, I have family that comes over, and my dog does not greet them. My dog is put away when people come over. And then once things are calm, I may bring the dog out on leash so that bad habits don't form. If I just allow the dog to meet people at the door, it's a lot for some dogs. They jump on them, they can get nervous, and it creates a really reactive dog who thinks now that when the door opens, I have to go jump, bark, control, or bite. So that's what I'm doing with my pup. She has a lot of boundaries. I don't like my dog around me when I eat. And I'm okay kind of moving them away. Jay says, how do I get good sleep? How you doing, bud? Hope all is well, man. We don't use a crate. Should I change that? Yes. Yes, you should house train your dog with a crate. Yep. That'd be good. Start there. Don't let that dog pee up in your house. That's crazy. My dog darts out of the door when my significant darts out of the door when my significant other is at home without me, and also the kids. Once he's out of the house, he will not come when called. However, on leash with me, he's wonderful. He will stop and sit when I stop, but will not come off the leash. You guys got to make him come. Make the dog come. When you say come, make him come. If he doesn't come, go get him. Chase him down. That's what I do. It's the most reliable way. You don't have to run, but walk and be willing to walk for 5 minutes. But if you are willing to walk for 5 minutes, the dog won't mess with you anymore. Be like, all right, he's coming. So I got to listen. But be willing to be in it for the long haul is what I'm saying. That's true reliability when it comes to dogs. When it comes to dogs, you got to be in it for the long haul. Be prepared. If you say something, be willing to follow through with it. Otherwise, don't say it. If you say come and you're not willing to go get, don't say come. Just wait. Just wait for the dog to get in there. Don't try and bribe the dog with treats. Don't try and bribe the dog with a toy. All that is why he chooses when to come and when not to come. But if my dog doesn't come, they have to come. Come is a very good, life-saving command. It's like, I'd say you can arguably, the number one command. What command would be more important than come? What do you guys think? Don't. Because if the dog can come, then you can let the dog off leash anywhere. Say you travel with your dog, right? You're at a gas station or you find a big field and you want to go get some good advice. Stop. Stop what? Stop biting. That'd be a good one too. That you can argue with that one. Stay is good. Yep. You think stay is more important than do you think stay is more important than come? Think place is more important than come? It's not a trick question. I'm genuinely asking. I'm genuinely curious. Drop it is another important one. Yep. I get tons of calls of people. Anyway. Yeah, come is good. Stop is good. Place is good. In your track. All of them are good. How about down is very important. That covers a lot of stuff too. Leave it. Mm-hmm. Yep. I missed your question. Let me see where you're at. I don't see your question. Where is it? Type it again. I had a question above too. You did? Where are these questions at? Comment moderation, not set. What's that mean? Hold on, let me check. Let me see my phone. Let me try and figure it out. Okay. Julie says, what are your thoughts on dog parks? My dog was attacked by another dog as soon as it came through the gate. Got a huge cut on her head, won't be doing dog parks anymore. So best ways for dog socialization then. Find friends that have a social dog that you know is good. That's it. Dog parks are so hit or miss. And what you do is create fear and you got to work backwards. So, sometimes dog parks are good, man. I don't even want to say that. I don't know. Some trainers say, hell no, the hell with dog parks. But I'm kind of a fan, but you just gotta, you're just taking a big risk, man. You really are. always have an exit strategy, right? You see that guy or the girl coming in with that unruly ass dog barking their head off before they get in the gate. That's your time. That's your cue to get the hell out of there. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, dog parks. So don't do it. Lori, I don't see your question, man. Oh, here we go. Hey, Jeremy, Clovis is still an asshole on leash. Recently, I have allowed him to be in a neighborhood off leash. When off leash, he's definitely interested in other dogs, but I can call him back and move him along. His recall is on point. He's an angel on leash until we encounter another dog. At some point, he's going to have to be on leash. I've tried everything you recommend, and he's still being an embarrassment jerk. Oh no. Send me, if you can, and if you can, send me a video of what's going on. All right? Send me a video so I can see your technique and see his body language. If I see all of that, I can definitely tell you, give you some more things to work on. Okay? Try your hardest to do it if you can. All right? How old is Clovis now, and how big is he? Okay. Jaden says, I got a German Shepherd who hadn't ever hurt anyone in his life. But when he got to us, he started getting territorial with the big property we have. Can you help me figure this out? Yes, I can. So territorial is what a German Shepherd's job is. I mean, pretty much they're going to be territorial. You know, they're not labs. They're not golden retrievers. They're not going to allow someone to go unchecked on their territory. Now you can help that but you have to be there to teach and guide him when you have people come over, as best you can. I know a lot of people who say, I don't really know, people just show up, this and that. But you're going to have to try and control that situation as best you can. If the dog can't handle it, so this is what you do. Have a few times where people are going to come over, and you then can teach your dog how to greet people. Because on one hand, again, some people want a dog who will protect against the wrong people, I'd say. You just don't want them to protect against the right people, or innocent people. So, but he needs to be able to listen to you. If he decides to bark, you have to get up, go out there, and tell him to stop barking. And then he has to listen. If you can tell him to stop barking and he stops, it's all good then. He'll be like, okay. He's got to listen to you when he's barking. So make sure he does not bark just when you guys are in the house, right? If, say, he sees the mailman or something gets him to bark, stop that barking. If you can get that to happen, that will pay dividends in the situation you're talking about on the property. But he's got to be able to have the ability to listen to you when he's that sort of amped up, So, so that would be my approach. I mean, he's basically saying, I'm being cautious. Bark, 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 bark. And he really just needs you to say, hey, no need to be cautious. Stop. Quiet down. Go lay down. I got this. You know what I'm saying? That dog's going to do it. Dog's going to bark and protect. But then again, we want to be able to control to make sure he can figure out who's right and who's wrong, or who's friend and who's foe. You know what I'm saying? I hope that helps. Thank you guys for these questions, man. These questions are awesome. Keep them coming. Michael says, I have a 2-year-old American Bulldog rescue. He's very good until he sees another dog while we walk. He barks, growls, and pulls very hard. Can he get to where he can remain calm on walks? Yes, he can. American Bulldogs are more susceptible to that type of behavior when they see another dog, and they're also more susceptible to separation anxiety. Let me know, Michael, right now, if your dog has separation anxiety, because I know for sure that American Bulldogs, when they have issues, separation anxiety and dog aggression. And also, tell me where you're from. You guys on YouTube, you are wondering where you guys are from. Please let me know. Jim, Jaden, Michael, where you guys from, man? I want to see how far my YouTube channel is reaching. We're live on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And yeah, these questions are coming in, and they're coming in hot. I'm going to get to everybody's question, though. You bet your bottom dollar. I say hell no. Susie says hell no. Oh, to the dog park. Yeah. Doggy don't. I will never go to the dog park without it. Okay. What's a doggy don't? A doggy don't is a sound device. When you press it, it goes eh. Like it sounds like a taser, but a little less. You know, like if you take the sound of a taser and you turn it down just a little bit, it sounds like a taser. But it's just a noise device, and it's used for all sorts of things. I've got a YouTube video explaining what the use of the doggy don't will do. How about a quick overview of your training services? Sure. If you are thinking about Ontario, Canada in the house, huh? Sweet. That's awesome. High Point, North Carolina, Cleveland, Ohio. Sweet. Very cool. He goes in the crate well. He doesn't cry and gets very excited when we let him out. Well, and you said the dog is how old? Did you say that? 2-year-old. Yeah, so he's still young. No. Oh, he goes in the crate well. He doesn't cry and gets very excited when you let him out. Okay, gotcha. So go ahead and try and keep him calm when you let him out too. Okay. Utah. Nice. Nice, YouTube. That's awesome. Yeah, no, try and get him calm when you let him out as well, okay? When you walk in the door, this is a tip on separation anxiety. If you don't have it, that's good. But when you walk in the door from being gone to go and greet him in the crate, don't make the dog the priority. Put your stuff down. Wait until the dog is calm in the crate before you let him out. Make sure he waits at the door before you let him out. And then once he's out, try to get him to become calm in the house in general too. You want to be able to have a calm dog in the house 90% of the time, guys. It shouldn't be your dog running laps in your house. I know for people who have colder weather, I know that's kind of tough, but you saw my golden retriever today. Didn't get a walk, and she was calm as heck. She's 6 months old, and she comes from working lines, so she is extra hyper, but I've taught her how to become calm. Part of the training is teaching how to become calm, man. That's a good command to have. All right, so someone asked about my training services. So when it comes to fear, aggression, separation anxiety, or if the dog is old or small, I require that the dog come stay with me for 3 weeks, and we do 3 weeks, 3 dogs per month, and the price is $3,400, and you pay half as a deposit, and the other half will be due at the end by the time you pick your dog up. That being said, you get free private lessons for the rest of the dog's life. I want to make sure that your dog stays on track. So the people who are listening, who are past clients. If you need help, hit me up. Don't be afraid. I have traveled a long way to make sure that people stay on track. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. The 3 weeks in a nutshell. I mean, I put a good foundation of obedience on, but also have enough time to let the dog work through their anxiety, their fear, their aggression. All of that needs time. And especially if you had a rescue dog, there was no chance that you could spend that necessary time because it was a rescue dog. So the best thing, in my opinion, that you can do is allow your dog to go somewhere and learn. Because sometimes some dogs can be so territorial that private lessons are just a waste of time. Because dogs are much more likely to act like a big old butthole in their territory. And I don't need them to act like a butthole to fix it necessarily, right? I just need to allow them to become impatient like they are, and then help them figure out how to get what they want in a different way instead of being jumpy, barky, bitey, or just not listening to you. And so that's what we do here. We work through all of the stubbornness too. Some dogs are just so stubborn. Some dogs are just so pushy. Some dogs are just so controlling. And they do really bad things to get what they want. And but they've never met someone who won't tolerate jumping, barking, biting, not listening when you call them, and will stay there until they become calm. Those are really, really, really good life lessons to teach a dog that calmness gets you what you want, as opposed to excitedness, pushiness, barkiness, scratchiness, all of that stuff. Teaching patience is very good. I'm located in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So shout out to the Midwest, Cleveland, Ohio. Yep. Okay, I'm sure we've got some more questions. So let's keep her going. One of my favorite things to do with clients is talk to them on the phone. I love talking on the phone. I do not like email. I really, really, really despise talking or typing because it's just too much to type. You see how much every question that I've answered has been some long, elaborate. Imagine me writing that. It's just, I can't do it. Plus, when I do work with people, I need to feel the people too. In some degree, I need to get a feel of who they are and if they're going to be consistent with the training or not. Because I don't want to waste their money and I don't want to waste my time. And some people, if they're not committed, it is a waste of both of those things. So I kind of filter people as well. Maybe I'm not the right trainer for them, and I'm okay with that. How many dogs do you work with at once? As in staying in your home with your dogs as well? 3. 3 dogs, and we work on a first come, first serve basis. So today, I told this woman that we got one more spot left for May, and so if you're ready to sign up, I'll send an email with the ability to sign up, and as soon as I receive half, then that spot is filled. But the thing is, once that spot is filled, or once you put down half, your free private lessons start immediately. It'd be good because I want to meet the dog, especially if they're human aggressive. I want to meet the dog because it makes the transition much more smooth by the time training comes. Plus, I can give you a couple things to work on that's going to directly help the reason why you called me in the first place. And if we can get the dog to understand a few things before the dog comes to me, I can even take the dog further. You know what I'm saying? So I've kind of redefined my program. I've been doing this since 2006. I've been working with aggressive dogs since 2006. I've been working professionally with my own company since 2011, but I've really kind of defined that. I don't want a facility. I don't want a bunch of employees. I like working the dog by myself from A to Z because the relationship is such a big important part to getting a dog to work through their own anxieties, fears, and stuff, So I like to be attached to all dogs. Plus, if I can give you a deep diagnosis on the dog behavior, their personality, because in general, I can give you some advice. But if I get to know the dog intimately, I can really, really give you some a good game plan going forward. There's my sales pitch. All right. Let's see. Okay, thanks. He died a month ago, but I was wondering if you could help me or if we got another German Shepherd. Of course I would. Of course. German Shepherds is one of my favorite breeds. It's the breed that I work with the most. Because again, German Shepherds they're going to protect unless you get with a really good breeder. Check out if you're going to go with a German Shepherd, check out the monks of New Ski. Their breeding program they're monks that breed German Shepherds out of New York. And they've got books, they're trainers as well. But none of their German Shepherds lift their leg to pee. So they're basically breeding a bunch of like therapy dogs, man. So check it out. I don't know if they're officially breeding therapy dogs, but I'm just saying that temperament wise, those dogs are just phenomenal. Yeah. All right. YouTube's been popping today. That's what's up. Okay. How do you stop? Oh, I already answered that one. What's a doggy don't? How's Kaya? I got that one. Did I get them all? Let's see. I cannot seem to house train. Yep, got that one. Okay, never do dog parks. They could pick up a disease. True. Best way to muzzle train, trying to work on getting a muzzle on my female Saint Bernard. She hates strangers. What I do is I put a muzzle on and I'll take the dog for a walk. It's got to be a controlled walk, or else the dog will just sit there and go rant, 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 rant. You know what I mean? The dog should be groomed with the muzzle on. Get a good muzzle though. Get a muzzle that goes over a Baskerville muzzle you can find at Petco or PetSmart. Let's see. Yeah, get a big basket muzzle for that big Saint Bernard to where they can still drink water, they can still drink, they can still take treats. But if it hates strangers too, give it a break from strangers. Don't let strangers touch the dog. Don't let strangers near the dog. And the dog will tell you how long or how far to keep strangers away. But that's what I would do. Keep strangers away. And if you really want a muzzle, don't put the muzzle on the dog and then still allow people to touch the dog. So I wouldn't even work with the muzzle in that unless you can't control the dog, which you should control the dog first anyway. But the reason for the muzzle is for the dog not to bite people, right? But the dog shouldn't even be getting close enough to bite people anyway. You should tell people to not touch your dog so that the dog can really learn that you can control people and she doesn't have to. That's what I got. All right, those of you who just joined in, please feel free to ask as many questions as you like, too. You guys aren't just subject to one. Please ask as many questions as you like. And again, know that your questions will help out others. You missed my food aggression question. Tips to stop food aggression. With dogs or humans? Let me know. Oh. For those of you who are new to me and don't know who the heck I am, my name is Jeremy Majors, and I've been working with dogs since 2006. I had my own company since 2011, and I have specialized in aggression since day one. Who inspired me? Cesar Millan. Cesar Millan inspired me to start working with dogs. And I'm natural at it because my dad was really good with dogs too. He trained dogs briefly in the military. So we always had German Shepherds, Boxers, Dobermans, and they never bit anybody. They were never allowed in the kitchen. But they were such good dogs, man. Humans. Okay. I meant to say he has human aggression. Aggressive. I meant to say she has human aggression. I can tell if you're using that muzzle. We don't have her by strangers. Just get scared when he goes to the vet. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Put that muzzle on then. But put the dog on like a grooming station situation, and then wait until the dog becomes calm and stops trying to maybe get it off before you take the dog out of the grooming station situation. So that just means tie the dog up with the muzzle on and, feel the dog up just like a vet would do. And you're there for the dog, with the dog. And, you're getting that dog to understand that however you struggle, it's just not going to help. Stay calm, and we're going to work you through this. You know what I mean? All right. So human food aggression. So basically, what you want to teach your dog is the out or leave it command, and you can do that with a ball, a toy, or anything that they want of lesser value. Start with something of lesser value. Get the dog to understand that when you grab something, the dog must back away. If it challenges you, then you must give the dog a consequence to rethink that decision to challenge you. And so, same thing with food. That same approach with food. If you do it with a lesser value item, it will help the dog realize what the deal is. Be careful. Do not pet the dog. Do not try and hand feed the dog. I don't care. I don't know. Really mess with all of that. All I want my dog to do is when I say out, the dog stops eating, and then I tell the dog to sit, and the dog sits, and I can take the food. Say you put the wrong food down. Say the dog is eating a raccoon carcass. Had that happen. You want to be able to have your dog drop it when you say out. So a good out command is where you start when it comes to being possessive of something, no matter what it is. Out and sit. But food aggression is a direct result of a lack of respect. And so look in other areas where you can get more respect out of your dog. It will help. When dogs come to my place and they have food aggression, I never see it because I've gotten respect in all other areas. Come means come. Quiet means quiet. Don't jump on me. Off the furniture. When I say off, if you can get all of those things really solid, the dog will already have a new perspective of you and say, don't want to challenge him here. and the food because he makes me listen. He's very consistent in all other areas. So that's what's most important. It's never just one area. Check all of them, okay? I appreciate your question. Okay. Gospel Evans says, new Boston Terrier puppy. Oh, Lord. How do I get him acclimated to other animals and people during the pandemic? Well, try and find a friend. Try and find a friend with a dog that you think would your dog would get along with. Given your dog's personality, your dog's temperament, your dog's gender, your dog's energy level, and your dog's breed. All those things matter when choosing a really having a successful playmate. You can even join a local Boston Terrier group if you have one. Check it out. They may have ways where you can get some socialization going. How old's your puppy? Michael says, my American Bulldog does not have a prong collar yet. Once I start using one, if I do, will it be a way of life for him? Or can it be trained with it and then not need it? Your American Bulldog will definitely need one. He's 2 years old. He's dog aggressive. The dog will need to learn how to walk loose leash beside you with very, very good success. I think you should shave your beard. Hey! When the snow melts, the beard's gone. All right, Susie. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that. You're gonna have to get control of that walk. You're going to have to establish trust between you and that dog. You know what I'm saying? Create distance, as much distance as you can right now when it comes to other dogs. Create a bunch of distance, right? But more importantly, give that dog a job to do on the walk. Make sure that dog knows that you have to stay by my side, whether there's dogs or not. And if you can do that, the dog will start responding to your leadership more so than its own anxieties, fears, or whatever. Because right now, when it sees a dog, there's a wall that gets put up, and it ain't listening to you. But we have to start doing things right now that we can start breaking down that wall, and giving that dog a job to do on the walk is very, very important. 6 weeks. We'll see them in 2 weeks. Okay, great. Consequence. What are the consequences? Consequences for what? Don't have any friends with dogs. Yeah, well, you got to go find some. You got to go find something. I'm sure wherever you live, especially if it's a big city, you can find dog groups on Facebook or Facebook, probably. Most likely Facebook. But even put a feeler out there, be like, hey, don't worry about, so when you get your dog, it's going to be 8 weeks. When the dog doesn't listen, the consequence, that's a very general, what the consequence depends on what the behavior is, how severe the behavior is, how sensitive the dog is. It can't give you an answer unless I know the dog really. There's tons of consequences. Here's one. No. Saying the word no is a consequence. How about grabbing the leash and taking your dog away from the fence that dog's barking at, or dogs barking at the window, and taking your dog away from the window? That's a consequence. Taking the food away when he decides to growl at you over food is a consequence. There's many. Yeah. So I wouldn't be so crazy about socializing him either. You know, he's going to be 8 weeks. The most important thing is that the dog bonds with you and starts following you. You know, unlike human babies, dogs dogs search for their food right away. They got to search for that nipple. So they're working right away. Out the womb, they got to go find that nipple and they got to eat and they got to follow too. Really quick. Use that dog's need to follow to your advantage by teaching the dog to come. Start teaching the dog their name. They will follow you if you walk away from them. Don't start following your dog. You are the leader. You are the mother. Mothers don't follow puppies. Puppies follow mothers. Without without naming. They just do. So remember that. The come is is going to be one of the most, if not the most important command that you can teach your dog. Now your dog, don't worry about consequences right now with your dog, with your puppy, when you get them. That dog is not even old enough to know what no is, really. And that can be argued too. But again, come is pretty much the only thing you can really work on. Teens. How do you get a dog to respect teens as much as you? What does that mean, teens? You have children? Right now, I walk. Michael says, right now I walk him times when I don't see a lot of dogs, and in wide open spaces when I can turn around on a dime if need be. Yeah, do that. That sounds good to me. That sounds like a plan. If that wasn't a question. Okay, hold on. Let me get to some more questions. Make sure I got everybody. I think you should shave the beard. Shame. Probably off topic, but what do you think about e-collars? I've been considering the halo collar. Well, you get that halo collar and you let me know. E-collars are the best tool invented. I'll say it again. Electronic collars are the best tool invented. If used right, under a professional vision, coaching, it's the best tool invented for dogs, period. I don't care if the dog is 2 pounds. I don't care if the dog is 100 pounds. I don't care if the dog is scared of everything. I don't care if the dog, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. It's the greatest tool invented. Do not say no unless you've gotten a good trainer that can help you through that. It can provide your dog with reliable off-leash behavior. And what's better than that? Do not have your dog on leash its entire life. Don't do it. It's not fair to the dog. Take the time to teach the dog how to behave off leash. I'm talking about the electronic collar. The electronic collar is freedom. It's such a bad it's such a I don't know. People think weird things about weird things. But you have the ability to communicate with your dog away from you. What better tool is that? Yeah, it's very true. Unless you are, again, with your 8-week-old puppy, you can teach that dog how to follow you from day one and keep that up. And there will be a time that you have to go get that dog, because my philosophy is I want my dogs to want to come always. I want them to want to come, right? I love when they decide to come. I will always tell them good girl, good boy if they decide to come. But they got to come. They have to come when I tell them to come. It'll save their life. It'll give them more freedom. Sacrifices have to be made in order to get our dogs to live their best life. Sacrifices have to be made. But anyway, I've never had a dog. None of my dogs wear that stuff now. So back to your point about any collar, any training tool, all of them, if you're using it right, should be temporary. You don't have to have them forever. All tools are to get your word, to add value to your word, right? If your word meant what it was supposed to mean, you wouldn't need any tools. Not a leash, not a prong collar, not an e-collar, nothing, none of that. If your word meant what it was supposed to mean, you wouldn't need any of that. But these days, people are busy. We got jobs. We don't have the time that I would have. I've never put an e-collar on my golden retriever. If you watch videos on my golden retriever, never had an e-collar on. Dog is 6 months. The dog will fly to me when I say, "Tina, come." Fly to me. But that's because I made it super fun. When the dog was like 8 weeks, I made it super fun. And now the dog just charges when I say come, because it's super fun. Okay. All right. Alex says, how do you feel about the new petition to get tools removed from the market? I think it's atrocious. There's an organization called the International Association of Canine Professionals that fight to keep legislation out of the dog training industry. The reason why the dog training industry is not regulated is because we don't want it to be regulated. We don't want the government involved in dealing with dogs and animal welfare, because they will take the best tool invented out of the equation. They will take prong collars out of the equation. They will only subscribe to treat training only. And you can't really train a dog with treats. You can teach a dog what to do. Like, you can manipulate their body with treats, but you can't really teach them how to be reliable with just treats. How do you teach dogs to, how do you get a dog to respect teens as much as you? You teach the teens how to walk the dog, how to get the dog to become calm, how to groom the dog, just getting the dog to respect them, how to teach them how to not get the dog to jump on them. Certain things like that, just like anybody. How do you make it super fun? So it's easy. It's going to be really easy for your terrier. He's going to be adrenalized by your energy. But you have to bring energy. When you say come, say good boy, 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 and back up or run the opposite direction. Oh, they're going to be coming, man. You know what I mean? They're going to be sprinting towards you. And then you can give them that treat and celebrate, blah, 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 blah. That's how you make it super fun, and keep it spontaneous, and keep it, don't do it every single day with the same enthusiasm. You want to keep them at their highest levels of their highest level of excitement. And so keep it random. But when you call that dog's name, run the opposite way and make a lot of noise, act like a teenager girl or whatever, and they'll just come charging. Wait, what? I love treat training. That's my go-to, although I've worked with pups that aren't food driven. So what I'm saying is, treats are only there to manipulate their physical, like to manipulate them physically. You hold a treat up and the dog's nose goes like this, and then the butt hits the ground. Like, it's not hard to do. Like, if you take any dog, I don't care what it is, take your dog right now. Anybody who's watching, take your dog's chin right now. Do it like this. Put it like this. Lift it up to the air and hold it there. Guaranteed the dog's butt hits the ground. Guaranteed. Okay, so that's what we're doing with the treat. We're doing this. Whoop, dog goes, ooh, I want treat. Goes like this. Butt hits the ground. Sit. Add a word. Okay. Now, treat training to teach is fine. But again, to prove is the hard part. Most people are too lazy and they say, I want my dog to go into the crate. Let me grab a treat. I want my dog to come into the house. Let me grab a treat. I want my dog to not look at that other dog. Let me grab a treat. But it is conditioned to the appetite of the dog and the stress level of the dog. Some dogs, when they get stressed, don't matter how food driven they are, they're not going to take the treat. So then what? You don't want them working for something superficial, something that can come and go, something that you want them working for something that is always going to be there, that is constant and consistent, which is your word and your actions and your relationship. That's what's always going to be there. And so once things are clearly understood and the dog gives you the middle finger, treats are no longer valuable. It should be that, it's time to show tough love when your dog gives you the middle finger. All right, where are you from, Gospel Evans? Where are you from? Not the middle finger. Oh, yeah. The middle finger. Okay, what brand of collar do you use? I use the Mini Educator from e-collar Technologies. E-collar Technologies has a large selection of e-collars, but the most simple, basic one that I recommend for all owners is the model that I recommend is the ET300. It's very simple to use. If you read the instructions, it tells you that the e-collar is only there to prove what the dog knows. That's most important too. Too many people put on the e-collar to punish. That's wrong. That's damn near abuse. You don't want the dog to become collar smart. You don't want, when you put the collar on, the dog acts different. You want the dog to be excited because you have to be there. The e-collar is just a supplement to you. It's not a replacement. Again, you don't want the dog to associate anything negative when it comes to any tool. Doesn't matter, because it can. Any tool can be used to abuse, right? But you want the dog to have a positive association with the e-collar. And so in order to do that, the dog must know that the e-collar is a supplement to get the dog to listen to what it already knows. It's an extension of you. That's right. And that's how you get a dog who's not collar smart. Most people, the dog, you put the e-collar on, the dog lays down. Damn near abuse. Or the dog does stop doing what you don't want him to do. But that's not good. It should be an enjoyable experience. None of the dogs that I train, no matter how aggressive they are, no matter how fearful they are, no matter how stubborn they are, when I put that e-collar on, no change in demeanor or good change in demeanor. You know what I'm saying? Meaning I get to go outside, I get to go off leash, I get to explore. So, okay. You haven't heard from me in a couple of years, but Winston just started biting. Not sure why. Call me. Give me a call. Susie says, how do you feel about dog toys? I don't allow them. Why? Train to chew things to resemble household items. I do use tennis balls and retrieving dummies for retrieving work. I think if it works, stick with it. So I'm not mad at you. Whatever you think works is just fine. If it works for you, keep at it. Give me some tips. Hell, I'm trying to learn too. I'm not just giving advice. You guys got to teach me too. You owe me that. All right. All right. Let me see if I got all these questions covered because we've been at it since 7 o'clock. But man, these have been awesome questions, man. I had a great time. Yeah, I think I got them all. Let me see. If I missed your question, I apologize. I will type it in. Okay. Should short-haired dogs wear jackets in extreme cold? I don't know. Yeah, I guess it couldn't hurt. Yeah. Okay, I think I got them all. Can the Browns beat the Packers? How do you know I'm a Packers fan, man? What? I'm not even going to answer that question, buddy. Oh, you already know that answer. You already know. Can the Browns beat the Packers? Wow. Of course they can. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. I've been here for a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think I've got everybody's question. Packers suck. Bears suck. Okay. Anyway, we'll see you guys here next week. Same time. No, I won't be here next week. I'll be here the following Thursday. I'm only doing these when I have dogs here. So for 3 weeks straight, I'll be here. But after that third week, and this is my third one, we're going to skip a week. And then, so next Thursday, I'll have off. The following Thursday, I'll be here. I appreciate you guys. For those of you on YouTube, like, share, subscribe. I got to say that because everyone says it. I don't like saying it, but whatever. We'll see you guys next week. Peace. Oh, wait, Bjorn, I got you. Let me end Facebook and YouTube right quick. Let me see. You're welcome, man. Anytime. I got you, B. I got you. All right.